So you got a confessions page, right? HBCU confessions. So here you have HBCU confessions, where you got people from HBCUs, whether it be students, teachers, faculty members, staff, people of that ilk, confess about their deepest, darkest stuff that they've done on campus, right? So here you have a black female counselor, most likely that is, admit that she didn't write somebody's son a college recommendation letter. She only does this for black girls because she believes they face more roadblocks than black males. So right here, she says, had a mother get mad because I won't write her son a college recommendation letter. I only do so for black girls. They face more roadblocks than black males. And we have to show them how sisterhood works. Now, all this talk about the white man is pushing you down and this and that and systemic racism, but what are you doing here? This is worse than that. How can you complain about systemic racism and you're intentionally holding back black men and you're a black woman? And then you're going to say black men are the problem. And then at the same time, you're going to brag about how black women are the most educated and black men need to keep up. And you're actively holding back a black man because you don't want to write him a college recommendation letter because he's a black man. And then these gonna be the same people complaining about systemic racism, how white people are doing this and that to them. What? This is crazy. And I've always had an inkling, a suspicion, stuff like this was happening behind the scenes. And I think the opposite is happening with when we're talking about the white female counselors. I think there are a lot of white men falling through the cracks, and then they're only giving the recommendation letters to people because they're part of a alphabet crew or because it's a brown skinned kid and she feels bad, right? Because of her quote unquote white privilege, or she gives the recommendation letter to only a young feminist woman because she respects her young feminazism. You know what I mean? I think this is also happening on the other side too. This is I in terms of, especially when it comes to, when we talk about college recommendation letters, because I didn't really care about college when I was in high school. I didn't like ask for anybody for like a college recommendation letter. I know who I would ask though if I had to, but I felt that it was like pointless because I believe that if you were really that dude, people gonna come and find you. And I'm looking at my grades, I'm like, I don't even think I'm gonna go to college. You know what I mean? But this is interesting for her to admit that she literally admitted to systematically holding back a black man from trying to advance in the world because she's trying to show them how sisterhood works. And this is going to be the same quote unquote pro-black woman that's going to complain about systemic racism. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. But yeah, that tweet, it went viral. HBCU confessions. Somebody said up top, not surprised. Most of you hair hats be misandrists. Oh, man. So right here, you have a female that replies here and says, I feel this. It's okay for some things to be reserved only for black girls in a world where there are few and far between. She's condoning this behavior. And her name is the Diabolical Professor. And if I check her profile, she, like I said, people like to talk about the hood chicks and whatnot. I'm telling you, this is a different breed that are coming up because they're educated now, so quote unquote educated, and they think that they're better than the average person. And the problem is, it's not like most of them are not even majoring in something that actually helps people. But yeah, you got this tweet right here, man. You have a black woman basically admitting that she systemically held back a black man. Like if this was a white, like I said, if this was a white woman that said, had a mother get mad at me because I wouldn't write her son a college recommendation letter. I only do this for white girls or white boys. They face more roadblocks than black males. If a white mother said this, they would try to get that woman doxxed. They would have tried to get that woman doxxed, or that white dude, or if a white dude said something similar, that white dude would have gotten doxxed. Now, this tweet right here shows Undead Chronic has this thing where he will say that most women don't see most men as human. So right here, look at this tweet. She said, "I don't see a problem here at all. Black boys have already had at least 5 coaches in their face before they walk across the stage. Who they should be getting that from? Girls do not." And I'm Miss. Most black boys are not on the football team. It's only a certain for the sports team. It's only a certain select dudes that can make a basketball team, that can make a football team. And I'm going to stick with football and basketball because that's the only ones that black women really pay attention to. It's only a certain amount of those of black dudes on that team. Now, in terms of coaches recruiting them, that's probably going to be only two kids. I'm talking about probably 1 or 2 kids that is actually going to get an email from a D2 coach when we're talking about recruitment. That's only a select few. You see, when you see a woman make a tweet like this, she's talking about 1 dude or 2 dudes that she knows. And for some weird reason, none of the other men count. None of the other men count. Most black boys don't have coaches even from D3 or JUCO emailing them. Bro, I mean, when you see a tweet like that, you're like, what kind of reality is she living in? Most black men can't even make a team. Most black boys don't even make the teams, the athletic teams at their high school. What is she talking about? Having coaches in their face? What do you mean for recruitment? That's only reserved for a select few black men. We're talking about 5 coaches in there. 5. That small percentage of men doing sports is lucky to get a courtesy email to get a campus visit if they're even ranked. The only reason why I had a coach call me specifically was because I inquired first about a JUCO that I didn't know about, and the coach ended up calling me back. But that's because they needed numbers. They needed numbers to fill up because they had no numbers. It was a JUCO, a community college in New York that a coach wanted me to play soccer in. But dude, most kids don't even get a chance to play in just to play to start. Wow. But this just shows you the mentality. She just thinks that oh my this is why this is why you can't. I think when you have women like this is why I'm scared when I see certain women in authority, because they just have this mentality. Oh, all men have this privilege and blah. No, they don't. No, they don't. Like they do. Wow, wow. It's just because it's like the only men that exist to them in their mind are the whoever the top 2 athletes are in the high school. If they only look at those guys that are getting all the eyes stared at by the women, and nobody else matters, nobody else exists. This is why we can't have like there's certain positions of power I don't even think you can put women in, because in her mind she thinks she's making sense. Let me see. Let's see her Twitter, what her Twitter looks like. Let's see how old she is. Yeah, like because but particularly when you're talking about girls like that, they only look at who the top dudes are at the school, and nobody else exists. I'm talking about, and if they're in a place they don't see what they're looking for, they're like, no, I can get it from somewhere else. Man, this is sad. This is really, this is honestly, this is sad. This is sad. I can't believe this tweet exists where it's just like Yeah, Undead. I'm sorry, man. People want to act like Undead Chronic is extreme or like he's just right. He's right. It's just in their mind they just don't even see men as human. Talking about five coaches in men's. Dude, what are you talking about? Dude, even 5-star recruits, even 5-star even 5-star recruiters is like it's not it doesn't work that way. There's only a few 5-star recruits. A few ranked players out of we got to see the stat. How many millions play sport? And even then, on whatever school you're at, that's still a small percentage of the men that make the sports. Now, because the more I grow up, the more I realize why I would see men cry when they wouldn't make certain sports teams. I used to be like, or you'll be like, you have you ever been like in a situation like I remember when I was a sophomore in my soccer team, right? But I was like I made varsity as a freshman when I was for my soccer team, right? So I was already set. So technically I didn't really have to take tryouts so seriously, but I would be playing with certain players in trials and I'd be like, why is this guy playing? Or I would see certain people try out for basketball just in watching. I'm like, why is this guy trying? Because they know if they don't play sports, they ain't finna get they ain't gonna get no shot because women are just gonna just look past them like they don't exist. Like you'll wow. Because the older I get and the more because obviously high school doesn't last forever, right? The older I get, right, and the more I see how women look at certain only they'll just look at certain people. And if you don't play no instrument, if you don't play, if you don't play a sport, if you don't got no clout, you don't got no money, like but specifically you ain't got no clout, no kind of status. Women basically just look at you like you don't exist. Like you're just like wow. Because yeah, this is hold on for a second. It seems like they want to be put on a shirt. I'll say this. I think it seems like to be it's every because it's pushed by entertainment as well. Every woman wants to be the person where she puts on the football jersey and the guy's the star on the team, but they're the girlfriend of the star on the team, so they have the guy's jacket, the guy's football jersey, whatever, and all that. I think that's what it is. Or I'll see certain people like I'm like, you're good at soccer. Why won't you? Or you're good at this sport. Why are you trying out for basketball? Or you're good at this sport. Why are you trying out for football? That's the only thing that exists in a woman's mind. They're trying to get that woman's attention. They're going to try to make it in a sport that gets a woman's attention. You know what I mean, man? It is what it is. He said, facts, Chris. I hardly played any varsity snaps myself playing football during my senior year of high school. You're really lucky to get anything back, even from a below average D1 school. They like women don't understand how this stuff works. They for her to make a tweet like that where she just thinks the average dude is just now she probably got smashed out by the guy that was the 5-star recruit at her school. And she just thinks that all men have it like at that because that's the only dudes that she's looking for. Everybody else does not exist in her mind. This is what they like a girl like this will end up being a daycare worker. A girl like this will end up being a teacher, a counselor. And how can you be a person that's over the authority of students and you're looking at most of them as losers off rip? I don't know, man. Also, yeah, right there, I remember somebody showing me that study where basically where the female teachers give girls higher grades than the dudes. Like I'm telling you, there's something to that. Especially when we're talking about those female teachers, man. There's something to that. There's something to that, man. And people are going to talk about like the black feminism to white supremacy pipeline. But I'm telling you, even on the other side, I think you got these feminazis, the guilty white girls, right? I think they're doing the same thing to a lot of white men. I'm talking about particularly the white men that they deem as below them. I think there's a lot of white dudes falling through the cracks because you have certain counselors that are just looking at these dudes, right? And they're just like, Ill. No, I'm not gonna help. I'm not gonna help him out. Like for her to say like, what do you? I don't even. I've never even heard no white person. No, I haven't even heard no racist white person just talk about like even a racist white person knows that how the sports thing works. Not everybody. Nope. Scholarships are few and far between. Not everybody get a scholarship. Even a racist white dude knows that just because you black, that doesn't mean you're an athlete. Even racist, like even a racist white people know that most black people don't play sports like that. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I mean, I don't. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like that's the only because that's the only thing she sees. So right here, this guy says, "You just exposed yourself. You just admitted the only black men you noticed in college were on a team, which leads me to believe you was in them locker rooms getting plunged." Yo, facts. Like she wasn't the 5-star recruits like main squeeze, but she was in them locker rooms getting trains ran on her. That I believe. I believe that because you should see some of the girls that brag about getting. I'm talking about you have girl. I'm talking about Gorlock looking women talking about they got a train ran on them by the Georgia team, and you're looking at the girl. You're like, her? How did they even get hard for that? I'm talking about you're looking at the girl and you're just like, you're like even as a low val. Say if you consider yourself a below average man, you'll look at the girl bragging about the D1 team football team running a train on her, and you're looking at the girl. You're like, there's nothing attractive on that girl. How? But she's not lying. Yeah, she getting clapped. She getting. Those are the only dudes that exist in her mind. This is why man. I'm telling you, this is why people really need to revisit. We really you because even racist white people know that's not how this shit works with sports. There's only like a few scholarships. Even I'm talking about even the most racist, even the hillbillies, the racist hillbillies, they know that's not how this stuff works. But like I said, in a woman's mind, the only men that exist are those dudes. Nobody else matters. Yikes! We got to make sure we got to keep track of what jobs you do. You got to make sure because also these women they make up most of the nurses. And you're wondering why some people are treated better in certain emergency rooms and classrooms. And you're just wow. Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people are calling her out. They're like, damn, this girl is a clown. This girl is just straight up a clown. This might be the most moronic thing. Yeah, it's yeah. But like I think you know what, man? I'll even go as far as to think this, man. This is why when we're talking about why is there no black men playing baseball? Why is there no black men playing hockey and all this? This is part of it, bro. This is part of it. This is part of it. Man, this is sad. This is just sad. This is sad, man. This is sad. Honestly, this is sadder than this original quote in terms of the son not writing the son the college recommendation letter. This is honestly sadder than that because I could give a fuck about a letter. This probably gonna. I'm like just find a white woman to write you a recommendation letter. They'll do it, dude. Find a white lady with prestige at the school to write you a letter. She'll be more than happy to do it in 2024. She'll be if you're a black man, just find a white woman to write you the letter. She'll be like, oh my god, this is a pleasure. You really don't have to worry about the Boomquishas and the Sharkeishas in the counselor's office. You don't really got just find a white woman to write a recommendation letter for you.